I'm in a meeting already. This the noise is not entering. Hello guys, let's join. Can you guys hear my voice? Can you see anything on the screen? If you can see anything on the screen, you can see my chat, please. Let me know in the chat. Just type yes. I want to be sure that you guys can hear me or see the screen. I need an indication from you guys so that I don't start talking without anybody hearing me. Okay, I'll just continue. I hope you guys can hear me. I just hope. Okay, this is the market of today. This is gold. This happened to be the last structure that got broke. And then this on the 4 hours, okay, this 4 hours chart. And I go this what? Having a brief pullback or retracement. Of course, that is the way of the market. After the impulsive move, there will always be a corrective side of it. since we are bearish ultimately for the higher time frame, the bullish leg will be the impulsive move, while the bearish will be the impulsive, while the retracement will be the corrective move. Last week I did a preview which I sent forth. So that time gold was around this area. So in that video I said that gold was going to retrace. That was then, it was then I drew this line you are seeing there. So you can see gold has just been following it, right? The way I drew it, gold has just been following it. So if you entered, say from the very point that I drew it from that day, on the swing trade, you would have by now made a lot of money from it. Nevertheless, we still followed it. We have bought and sold many times on this corrective leg. Okay, now let me remove this line because we don't need them again. They have served their purpose. If you watch the video, these lines, I actually use them to indicate something on the chart. And I'm going to do it again in your presence. So I trade through SNC. And for those that trade through SNC, there are certain things we employ in the chart which others that trade ordinary SNC do not consider. Okay, we do ours that way because we find it to be very much effective and enhance, put us in the right direction and always help us to be more accurate. So what you see here, we regard it as inducement, right? You may not understand it fully, but just know it that this is inducement. Until market mitigate this inducement, by mitigation I mean until market gets to this area, I will not be expecting it to push downward and come and break this area. As you can see now, I have not even put as you can see, I have not put anything like a break or structure in this area, because for me to put a line here and call it break or structure, this inducement has to be mitigated. Once this inducement market get here, I will put a line here and call it break or structure, expecting that market will come and break it. So since this has not been mitigated, what do I still expect in the market? I still expect the market to push higher, right? That's what I still expect. But then, for that to happen, there may be some level of retracement. Okay, for me to know now where those retracements are likely going to be, I will have to do one or two things. I'll go on the 1 week, right? This is on the weekly now. Sorry, this is on the weekly. There is something I'm looking out for on the weekly. What I want to see now, I want to see the low and the high of last week. Okay, this is what happened to be the high of last week, and this is the low of last week. So I will normally give this yellow color because I'm going to have two more lines. I want to be able to distinguish or differentiate between the weekly high and low from the others. So this is all I will need to do on the weekly. Of course, if you look at the weekly, you will agree with me that market is equally bearish, right? So I will go on the daily and looking for something. I want to see, okay, this is the daily. Let me magnify it. This is the daily. On the daily, I'm going to put a horizontal line on the low of last Friday and on the high. So this horizontal line is going to, the color is going to be blue. This is just to help me identify it. The color doesn't really matter, just to help me know that this is okay. That being said, I equally want to know the low of Thursday. Sorry, let me adjust this guy. I equally want to know the low and the high of Thursday. I do the low of the previous 2 days, right, separately. So I'm going to equally take a horizontal line and I put it here. This now is the low of last week Thursday and the high. So, sorry. Why is this thing? So on the daily and weekly, all that I map out is just the low and the high. So to enable me recognize or differentiate this, I'm going to change the color as well. I will normally use red. I hope that is red on this. I'm not too good with color, guys, you know. So sometimes I call orange red, red is orange. I want to change this color. Okay. So as you can see, we now have color for each and every one of them. So it is obvious which color is which now, right? Let me just remove this. This has served its purpose. No, it's still needed. Let me take it back to where it was. It was like this, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. So now I need to go back on the 4 hours. Since I have done what I needed to do on the daily and on the weekly, I'll go back to the 4 hours. Okay, those things I just map out just now, they are going to possibly help me, right? I told you I map out that so as to enable me know, one, if there's going to be retracement, where is the retracement going to be? Okay, now this is the high of on Thursday, right? If market gets here, since that last week Thursday, market has only broken it once, right, to the upside. Okay, if market gets here, there's every tendency that it will bounce up. Why will it bounce up? Because of other traders and many other traders. There are traders who trade the high and the low of every day. That is just their strategy. They trade the high and the low. If the low is taken, they are waiting for the market to retest and they sell it. If the high is taken, they wait for market to reset and they buy it. So one reason why I think the market gets here to bounce because of this low, right? And moreover, we are still bullish, right? In the short range, in the short run, we are still bullish. Like I said, I'm looking for a situation whereby market gets to this inducement before it starts reversing. It may even go above it, right? But this inducement for us trading through SMC is a key entry zone, right? Entry model for us. We have about 4 entry model. Inducement is the first entry model. Okay, this is on the 4 hours. Even if this market does not get here and come down all the way to this area, I assure you, once the market gets to this area, it's going to give us at least 200 pips. There's going to be some retracement, some rejection, because there are liquidity here, right? This is the last value pullback. Oh, and see a valid pullback there. I probably missed this before. Hello guys, give me a minute. Did I put those 2 lines together just now? Okay. There's a valid pullback around this area. So this is the inducement. Sorry, I missed this before, but perhaps I didn't look well. This is the inducement. Okay, this is why this inducement is one of the reasons why market pull back a little in this area. This little pullback on the 4 hours is up to 300 pips. Remember, we took a trade here. Last week. That was on Friday, right? When I sent this trade, one of those that were in the group insulted me and said the trade was going to fail, right? I told him to watch. The trade took our first TP and second TP. The trade did not fail. Yes, it took time, but it did not hit us out in stop loss. We benefited from it. So I'm going to be addressing that issue some other time. But in the meantime, let's just focus on what we are here for. Okay, we just focus on what we are here for. So it is because of this inducement here that we have a little retracement. Now, am I still expecting that the market will go up? Yes, I am still expecting that the market will go up, right? I am still very much expecting. Why? Because for those trading through SMC, I will tell you why. For us to have a valid break of structure, the market has to pull, retrace at least 50%. Okay, if I say now, I take this, right? And I put it here. I call this area break or structure because according to the strategy, when immediately market mitigates the inducement, you will have your break or structure put in this area, expecting that the market will come and break it. Okay, now that the inducement have been mitigated, right? What do I still expect? Why am I still expecting that the market will go up further? Because I still expect that the market will go further up because the precondition for a valid break or structure for us trading through SMC is that the pullback must be up to 50%, and this is the 50%. 50% is here. This pullback is not up to 50%. If the market eventually retraces from here and will take the low of this very particular area, we will not call it break or structure. We just mark it as liquidity. So since the market has not gotten to 50%, we are still very much interested in buying. Moreover, for those trading SMC, we have what we call premium and discount. We have what we call premium and discount. Oh God, I didn't record this video. Sorry guys, let me just quickly click on recording. Start recording. For those trading SMC, we have what we call premium and discount. Premium is when something is very high, right? The price is high, you know. Discount is when the price of a particular thing is low. If you have a good that you want to sell it when the price is high. So we're looking at selling around this area. And then if you want to buy something, you probably want to buy it when the price is low because you want what? Save cost without jeopardizing the quality. Yes, you know the quality you're looking for, and you know perhaps there will be a discount at a point in time, or maybe Black Friday or what have you. So you want to buy it when it is low. So since this market has not really got into this area, our major interest is still what? On buying. We still want to buy. We're still very much interested in buying this market. So this week we are looking at gold moving up, going as far as this very particular area. Meet me once again. Once again, I'm going to look at weekly because I deleted some line just. I want to know the line. The horizontal line deleted. I need to put it back. Okay. I think the weekly is still intact. Let's quickly look at the daily. Here's where we are. Okay. Okay. One of the dailies gone. Yes, this one is correct. No, a minute. When you are mapping up the chart, you must be very accurate. If you are not accurate, you may end up doing the wrong thing. And once you do the wrong thing, you get the wrong result. Once you do the wrong thing, you get the wrong result. Okay. That being said, everything now is fine. So I'll go back to the 4 hours. We're on the 4 hours. So, like I said, market, we still expect gold to go up. Still expect gold to go up. Go up because this retracement is not deep enough. Okay, that does not mean we're not going to have minor retracements. We're going to have minor retracements. I just told you now, if gold get to 4042 around that area, gold is going to what? Gold is going to retrace. And if eventually retrace, if gold eventually retrace to this area, it's going to bounce up, right? Moreover, we have in this area now, we have hidden zone in this area. So for us to see that clearly, before I go to the lower time frame, I only want to mark this area. This is 4 hours order block, right? So if gold eventually crosses this, the high of on Thursday, if gold breaks it and get here, this order block is capable of making gold to bounce up. Yeah, because in that same area you have the low of a Friday. You have the low there. Like I told you, there are marketers, there are traders like you. Their strategy is to trade the low and the high, and there are massive stop losses, liquidity in those areas. So even if it doesn't push that much, it must give you awful time than no reasonable amount of peace. So now let's look at this area. We'll look at it on the lower time frame, which is 15 minutes. See, my explanation is very simple. If you understand this thing, you really don't have to stress yourself. All you need to do is to wait. Once market get to your area of interest, you look for your confirmation, entry confirmation. That'll be the next thing you need to do. Okay, this is 15 minutes, guys. Now the 15 minutes, if you look at this area where we have the low, of Thursday, you will agree with me. We have a other block there. Okay, we have other block in that area. This whole thing now serves as the other block, right? In fact, as a matter of fact, market was already bouncing. Look at it, bouncing from that area, but then it's just still at the peripheral. If market eventually comes back again to that same area, it will bounce, right? So this was actually what pushed market up. 15 minutes of that block was what pushed the market up after the retracement. Look at the trade we took that day. We took it from this area until it got here, right? It got to 64. 64. Go and look at the chart and tell me how many pips we got from there. Okay, what am I expecting? Like I said, what is this? Like I said, gold is still bullish on the lower time frame. Gold is breaking structure on the lower time frame. The last structure that was broken on the lower time frame was this. Gold broke this structure on the lower time frame. Okay, now after breaking that structure on the lower time frame, what do we expect? We expected a retracement, right? We expected a retracement, and that retracement supposedly ought to have given us 50% at least. So before gold broke that structure, what was the pullback? This was from here. So if I take, now that gold is reversing from there, if I take this, let's say I mark it from here to this very place, okay, I expect gold to come down a little further around this area. Look at it, guys, around the same area where I told you gold is like, if it got there, it's likely to bounce. If gold gets here, like a bounce up. So this week gold is still what? Bullish in the short run. Okay, but then if gold get to on the 4 hours, let me remove this. This is 15 minutes. If gold get to the premium zone, right, goes beyond the discount and get to the premium zone, we'll be looking at selling gold. Okay, on the premium zone, which area are we probably considering for a sell? Paraventure gold get to it. Where are we considering for a sell? Okay, let's find that out now. Okay. There are things, something we call order flow. This is an order flow. This is another flow, right? And that order flow is very valid. Within the order flow, we also have an order block. All right, if go get to this area, the zone is massive. This is from 4306 to 4391. is massive. So you wouldn't just jump into it. You're going to wait for your confirmation. If gold peradventure gets there, right? Gold is going to sell massively. Okay, it's going to sell massively. Then there's another area I expect gold to sell from. Okay, we will come back to this analysis I'm doing by next week Sunday to look at what eventually happened in the market. You'll be shocked that everything that I said is correct. Now, if gold does not retrace from here, like I last said, back to this area before pushing up, gold will get here and retrace from here. This area. It will dance around. If gold eventually get here, here. Let me mark me. This is another block. Okay, this other block does not have the power to push the market all the way down, but market can react. And since we're on the 4 hours, any reaction from here probably give us more than 100 to 200 piece. Any reaction from here. Okay, then this other block is very vital. Okay, why? This other block is the other block that eventually led to the break of structure that pushed the market all the way to this area. If you look at the chart, apart from that block, there is no other block around this area, right? It's only here that we seem to have fair value gap. Okay, so this other block is really going to give us, you can notice that this is from 4123 to 4145. That other block, if gold get there, gold is going to sell. And if gold is selling from there, gold is likely to bounce off the high of last Friday, which is 40696. If gold sells from here, it's likely to have either bounce and continue, or you're going to have a reaction here before it comes down a little further. And if you break that, it will reverse from here. If gold is selling from this zone, right, it's going to have some reaction here, or bounce from here, like gets here and keep going up. But if it doesn't, it will bounce from this very particular zone. See that here or here. Okay, now after gold, if gold eventually has done everything, where we expect gold to get to, right, expect gold to really get to, and then come all the way down to come and break structure, is this place. I expect gold to set till it gets here. I'm going to have some reaction here too. Why? Because we have other block here, and then we have the high of last week here. So if I mark this one here, this is another block, and that other block is at the same time met with the high of last week. Sorry, the other block number. This is the other block. Yes. So this other block is almost at the same time where we have the half last week. So gold is going to equally have reaction here. After whatever gold has to do in this area, between this and this area, if it gets here, it's going to sell. But that seller still don't expect it to have the power to push gold all the way to this area. Where gold is going to really move and move well is when it get here, right? Because we have a valid order flow there, and that order flow, we have another block in the other flow. Okay, and it is the last defense, the change of character. Ego goes beyond this area. You know, bias has totally changed from being a bearish market to bullish. But for now, we are still very much bearish in the higher time frame. But the lower time frame, we are going to have a bullish move. That move is just the corrective leg on the what? Higher time frame 4 hours. So this is what I have for this week. So I hope I'm able to communicate, or I was able to communicate something to you guys. I hope you guys benefit from this little analysis. If you keep listening like this, certainly you are going to learn a lot. You are going to learn a lot. So please, I want you guys to let me know if at all you heard me. If at all what I know I just passed now, you got it. If you can hear me, please just send me a chat on my Telegram that you heard me, everything that I said was clear. I just want to get that to be sure that I was not talking to myself. We can see but we cannot hear. Okay, that is strange. They can see but they cannot hear. Okay, I didn't get to see that chat on time. What I will do, I later started recording this video. I didn't start on time as well. What I will do, I will send the video on the chat so that you look at it. By looking at it, that will give you an idea over all that I said I was talking about. So we'll call it a day from here, right? I will put the video on the Telegram. I believe that will give you will hear everything from there and have a very good understanding of what I just said now. Thank you. See you guys again next week Friday.